All right, so a couple things to address here quick before we actually get into what we're going to talk about. Number one, yes, I'm in a different chair. My other chair broke. Sucks being a fat guy. Sit down to play Xbox, lean a little too far one side. There goes the chair. So, yeah, we're stuck in this creepy old Bray Wyatt looking rocking chair, so it'll have to do. I don't know how long, but temporarily it'll have to do. But anyway, that's number one. Now, number two, the Browns finally have dropped a teaser to the uniforms. Now, this is not what the video is going to be about, but this is something that I've been looking forward to for a long time with these uniforms. And finally, we're done with, oh, there it is, those uniforms. Everybody's wanted more of that classic look. The Browns themselves have said uniforms are going to be nothing fancy. The teaser trailer showed Jim Brown, Clay Matthews Sr., the uniforms from that era. Now, I'm hoping, like I said in my other video about the uniforms, that it's a modern take on a classic uniform. Same thing to what the Buccaneers just did with their uniforms. Yeah, they look very familiar to the old ones. But you know what? There's some modern tweaks. They look clean. They look nice. They look like what they're supposed to. That's what I want from the Browns. And from the teaser, that's what I get. I get a modern take on a classic throwback based on what they show. Now, obviously, they haven't shown them. I could be completely wrong. I could be blind and not seen right. But, yeah. So, what we're actually going to be talking about today is, could the Browns be getting Jadeveon Clowney and or Yannick Ngakoue? Number one, Olivier Vernon, right? Let's start with the guy you already have. So, Myles Garrett gets suspended. Olivier Vernon has a lot of injury issues throughout last season. When he was healthy, great. When Myles was on the field with him when he was healthy, great. When he wasn't healthy, not so great. When Myles wasn't on the field, not so great. Olivier Vernon is a guy who's gone through a lot of injury issues. Same thing. When he's healthy, he plays at a high level. When he's not, it's a little bit rough. It's a little shaky. Now, this has brought up talks because of the fact that he's making $15 million a year. None is guaranteed. So if we were to cut him, wouldn't hurt us a dollar. I believe I'm saying that right. Now, the Browns, I believe, have somewhere around $43 million in cap space left. Top two. I believe they're one right now in cap space in the NFL. And I'm not saying that the Browns should go out and spend all of that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, hey, if you got it, you're rebuilding right now. Not rebuilding, reloading. You're not rebuilding. Why not cut bait with Vernon, who's making 15, and spend money on a guy like a Jadeveon Clowney, who's 27. When he's motivated, he could play at a high level. That could be. He's not better than Myles Garrett, but he's up there as a end, and I think he could be an incredible fit. Now, the thing is with Jadeveon Clowney, he started off asking for a lot. Now, that was reportedly $20 million, somewhere around there. Nobody's giving him $20 million. Now he's supposedly down to 17, that 15 to 17 limit there. And the latest report that I heard is that the Seahawks have a little chance, little to none, to re-signing Jadeveon Clowney. Now, this opens up where? Now, the Titans have been talked about as an option. The Browns were not talked about as an option for a long time, and then they came up. I had that thought because it's like the Browns for the last really 3 to 4 years, going back to John Dorsey, have been the big move Browns. You pick great, you get your guys after saving up a lot of draft picks, after tanking, and you hit on your picks. You got your quarterback, and before all you clowns get in the comment section, oh, do you really have your quarterback? Yes, we have our quarterback, so get over it. You got your quarterback, which has been a big need. You hit on a running back that you really. I'm not saying you didn't need him to be a superstar, but it wasn't like you were picking him to be a superstar. You know, if you wanted a superstar running back, guarantee you're taking Saquon Barkley. They took Nick Chubb, second round, and it hit. I mean, he's fantastic. One of the top running backs in the league. So you hit on your running back. You go out and you get Jarvis Landry, and then you trade for Odell Beckham Jr. You get your corner, who had a rough second year, but he had a great first year. Same thing with Baker, rough second year, great first year. Both look positive. Both look like they're going to be stars. You hit on some, well, not some, but at least Mac Wilson, as late as you got him, looks like he's going to be a beast. And there's multiple of these guys you can talk about. Greedy Williams is a guy who I personally loved before the draft last year due to tackling problems, injury bad last year. Not bad, but not as good last year at LSU. He slipped. The Browns stole him in the second round. So I believe he's going to take a huge step up. I believe everybody's going to take a huge step up. I think when you take a coach who is straight out of the special needs class teaching, and you say, you know what, let's try it, and it didn't work out, it was awful, it was a train wreck, and then you get a guy like Kevin Stefanski who's been around the system, very detail-oriented, very focused. You bring him in, and you say, listen, there's no ego. You say, let's do what works. What works with our guys? Let's do that. That's how you're going to get success with these young guys. You can't force them into something when that's completely different from what they're good at. So the Browns, getting back to my original point, have a lot of cap space yet to work with. So what are they going to do? Are they going to pay Olivier Vernon that $15 million? Could they restructure? The reports is they want to restructure. They would like to keep him. They like him, but they want to restructure. What price tag are they going to get him down to? To me, if he stays within that 10 million, if he goes down from 15 to 10, that's too much. That's too much. Me personally, I would say no more than 7 to keep Olivier Vernon, but just what I'm saying. When he's healthy, he's good. When he's not, it's not great at all. We need a difference maker. You have a chance right now to go sign a guy like Jadeveon Clowney at $17 million, pay him $2 more million a year than you were gonna pay Olivier Vernon. Sign him to a 2-3 year deal, maybe even 1. Front load the contract, and you got Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney. That's insane. And that's, it may look bigger on paper than anything else, but Jadeveon Clowney is talented, okay? Same thing with Odell Beckham Jr. Just because it's a big name on paper doesn't mean that they're not talented. Even if they don't perform 24/7 consistently, if I knew English, that doesn't mean that they're not talented. Jadeveon Clowney is a difference maker. He's not a game changer, in my opinion, but he can be a difference maker. You pair him with a game changer like Myles Garrett, he could potentially elevate to that level or become a more defiant difference maker. So that's an option. Now, Yannick Ngakoue, the Jaguars franchise take him. He's 25 years old, up-and-comer, very good right now. It's a unique situation because it's one of these things where they franchise tagged him and he's like, no, I'm done. Like, I won't show up. I'm not playing. I'm not going to be on the field for the Jaguars next year. They're forced to trade him. They're rebuilding. He don't want to be there. I'm surprised anybody wants to be there. Trade him. They need to trade him. Now, value-wise, I don't know because I think that his value is going to be a third-round pick, okay? Now, to some, people might say, you know what, that's way too much. Well, keep in mind, he's 25 years old. He's up and coming. He has potential to be... I think with Yannick Ngakoue, he's a guy who might have been a little bit overshadowed by Calais Campbell, who's now a Baltimore Raven. Guys like that, I think he has potential to be better than Olivier Vernon. Let's just start there. Better than Olivier Vernon for the Browns. So that's an option. I believe both of these guys are way better than Olivier Vernon. Now, Jadeveon Clowney is better than Yannick Ngakoue right now. Okay? I don't know the stats on that. That's just my watching the games. That's my opinion. But you look at it long term. I think Ngakoue, you can trade for him, give up a third-round pick, but I think you can sign him to a cheaper deal, and I think he would be here a lot longer than a Clowney would be. So that's the options you got to look at. If it's me, if I'm Andrew Berry, I'm saying, you know what? Jadeveon Clowney, let's get this done. Let's do a 2 or 3 year deal. I'll front load it. Let's get it down to that good enough range. Like I said, 15, 16, 17 million, no more than that. Let's keep it in there. That's what we can work with. We'll put you on the opposite side of Myles Garrett, and this defense will be rolling as far as the defensive line. You figure you go out and get Claiborne, you get Billings, guys like that. You know, pair him with Sheldon Richardson in his second year with the Browns. Ogunjobi. This defensive line has a chance to be a lot better than they were last year. Last year, this whole defense was crippled with injuries, crippled with bad coaching, crippled with people not wanting to play, not caring, bad locker room, young team. So I think you rebuild, you get some depth pieces. Andrew Billings is going to be phenomenal. 300-pound bruiser in the middle. Claiborne, that's going to be a good get. He's filler guy. He's not going to start, but when you need a good pass rush on a third down, you could throw him in there with some of these other guys. You know, depth pieces, good depth pieces. Now, to me, give me Jadeveon Clowney for 2 to 3 years. Even if it is 1, you know, let's try it out. But Yannick Ngakoue, same thing, like I said. He'll be here a lot longer, I believe, if he were to be traded. But do you want to give up higher picks? I don't think it's going to be higher than a third-rounder. I wouldn't give up anything higher than a third-rounder. Keep in mind the Browns have 2 third-round picks, so that gives you a little bit more leeway. Now, it just depends. It all depends. I think it would be easier to get Clowney and work with that and get more value immediately than try to deal with the numbers and dealing with the future with Ngakoue. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe Ngakoue is going to force the Jaguars to take a lower trade, maybe a 4th rounder, 5th rounder, a pair of 5th rounders, something like that. So who knows? If it was me personally, I would rather have Clowney for 1 to 3 years, somewhere in that range, front load the contract like you've seen with some of the other signings, like Jack Conklin, do that style of a contract, and you got a huge hit there. Like I said, that's what I would do personally. I don't know necessarily if that's what's going to actually get done. I will be thrilled if we have Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett. Like I said, I wouldn't say Clowney is a game changer or game wrecker, but he's a difference maker. You know, and I think, like I said, when you pair guys, look at Pittsburgh. Steelers fans always want to talk about T.J. Watt. Been on Twitter arguing who's better, Myles Garrett or T.J. Watt, and it is Myles Garrett. But when you pair a guy with a high skill set with another guy with a high skill set, like they do with Bud Dupree and T.J. Watt, look at the difference that makes. When Vernon was healthy and Garrett was, playing, it wasn't terrible, but it all depends on the system. There's a lot that goes into it. That's what I'm trying to say. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I said, we've been big move Browns even continually with Andrew Berry. I like it. I like the aggressiveness. So we'll see. I'm hoping that we can get a deal done with Clowney, cut bait with Vernon. If we end up sticking with Vernon, restructure his contract, I'm good with that too. So, can't wait for the new uniforms. Can't wait. Needs to drop soon. So I will see you in the next video. That might be my next video talking about the new uniform, so we'll see. Stay safe, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.